Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Xbox the Box and Xbox Podcast. We're on episode 40. Oh my god, that is a lot of number. That is a big number. My name is PotatoChief, aka Potato Pro Wrestling, and I'm with my good friend Alice. How are you doing, Alice?
40 winks, and hoping we get enough sleep.
Yeah, 40 is a big number. We're 10 away from the big 5-0, and we have no plans whatsoever for the big 5-0. We're going to try and come up with something. What we're going to do for 50.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking we could do a podcast where we'll play Minecraft, for instance, or Halo. Just have some gameplay in the background. Fun. But yeah, there's a quite huge thing, but it doesn't have to be like an hour long. It's just like 30 minutes just to give us a breath. But anyway, we're catching up. So we're slowly catching up to in PS We Trust guys in terms of like episode count as well as subscriber count, because we are now getting really close to 70. So if you could give us like 120 subscribers, then that would be great.
Yeah. So we're really close to 69, which would be really nice.
Okay, 69.
Also, we don't know. Sorry, my screen seems to be going a bit slow. But what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, if you're new here, thank you very much for subscribing, because we've had a lot of new subscribers the last 2 or 3 weeks, so we really appreciate it, and it means a lot. So thank you if you're new. Yeah. But thank you very much for subscribing if you're new, and if you've been here since the beginning, also thank you very much. That means a lot. We're still a small channel, and we're trying to grow, and we've grown quite quickly over the last few weeks, which I really appreciate. You guys seem to like short form content. We've done a lot of short form content, and that seems to be doing us quite well.
Yes, so at the moment, the Metroid Prime video is just got over like 100 views. So therefore, I think it's working, and we could suggest on how we deliver the content on today. So who knows? But anyway, now with Lewis back,
I'm back.
Now we're just gonna have to like get on the rest of the episode. And last one thing, if Potato gets enough money, he can get a new laptop, so you wouldn't have to deal with those webcam and microphone issues. He's skint.
I'm sure I'll manage a way to mess everything up with the money, but there you go. Also, I've got my brand new Linkin Park shirt for 20 years. This is 20th anniversary of High Big Theory, but it's the 20th anniversary of Meteora, which we're going to be doing a special Outside the Box episode, which is going to be all about Linkin Park, which is random, but hey, that's the whole point of Outside the Box. It's our off-topic, completely out of non-Xbox podcast that short. It's not a podcast, it's not an hour long, it's about 20 minutes. So if you want to hear us talk about our love of Linkin Park and our history of Linkin Park, then that will be a podcast/video that goes up in the next week or so. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yes. So yeah, sorry, I just got off a bit topic. So as per usual, we start the podcast off with what we have been playing. So Alice, what have you been playing?
Just about less than an hour of Scarlet and Violet, and that's where I only came in to get a Greninja. I almost missed it because there's a Terra raid where you get a poisoned Terra type Greninja.
Ooh.
I had a few attempts and I thought I was going to miss out because the boss battle is annoying, but I managed to get that and now I got it. But you didn't know about that beforehand, right? Because I thought you were well versed in those things.
Yeah, I usually am. I go through phases with Pokemon. I'll basically, when the game comes out, I'll completely get everything in it, completely 100% it. But I didn't know about all this extra terror raid that was going on. I should have gone and got the Greninja, but there you go. My fault. I've been too concentrated on Metroid Prime, which we'll talk more about in a minute, probably. But yeah, it's like...
Well, it kind of tells that we're not really that interested into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet anymore, so therefore we're pretty much not particularly too keen about it. So, but once the DLC comes over, which it's been leaked, and we're just going to have like more Pokemon over, so therefore, I mean, it's up to how you go for those leaks, but if you're able to like, yeah, because on February 27th, there's supposed to be a Pokemon Direct coming up, so we may actually learn more details about it if they ever announcement. But as far as the leaks is concerned, it's rumored to be the only expansion pack to the game and could arrive later this year, or it could well be in 2 DLC parts throughout the year. So I know this is an Xbox podcast, but yeah. Anyway, so you've been playing. Sorry.
I was going to say also there's a rumor that they might be bringing the original Pokemon games to NSO, to Nintendo Switch Online. That's been rumored as well because they had footage of Pokemon Stadium, and it said no Game Boy connect. There'll be no connection to the Game Boy games, and then they've re-released that footage without that line at the bottom, so people are thinking, "Ooh, maybe there is a connection to the Game Boy games." So that would be cool. So if you're a Pokemon fan, there will still be stuff to play. But yeah, I've been playing Metroid Prime. I'm obsessed with it. I want to finish it. I'm determined to finish it before Atomic Heart comes out because it's supposed to be quite a similar type of game. I've got further in it than I've ever had before. It proves how much of a noob I was as a child. When I played this as a teenager, I'm playing it now, and I'm like, oh, I thought this bit was like 20 hours in. Like I must have played it for like hours and hours and hours and not got any progress when I was a teenager. And now I'm like, oh, I've passed where I was in the game by I'm like a mile now. I'm really far into it. I've got like I don't want to spoil anything, but obviously if you've played Metroid games, you know what the stuff are. I've got some like I can go into water now and stuff like that. That's as far as I'm getting quite close to the end, I think. It's so rad, but it's such a good game, Metroid Prime. We gave it our first ever Xbox to Box 10 out of 10, or at least we would have if we reviewed Xbox games, Nintendo games on Xbox, because we said that like because with our review scale, we each review a game from 1 to 10 with no like fractions, so it's like pure numbers, and then between us, whatever the average number. So to get a 10 out of 10 from us, we both have to agree it's a 10 out of 10. So it makes it very rare. But the fact that would have been our first 10 out of 10 if it was an Xbox game, ironically as thought. So we're still waiting for that first cherished 10 out of 10. Will it be Starfield? Will it be Redfall? Probably not. But it'd be interesting to see if we ever do give a 10 out of 10 for an Xbox game. I'm looking forward to that day. That day will be great. And yeah, I made a short about Metroid Prime. We did a short review, which is like 30 seconds. So if you want to see what my thoughts on Metroid Prime is, we can do that. And also, we have an outside the box, off-topic discussion about Metroid Prime where we talk about it for 20 minutes. So I won't talk about Metroid Prime anymore unless you want to. I'm done with my part talking about Metroid Prime. Do you want to talk about Metroid Prime for a bit?
Yes, I've actually played a bit of it, so I haven't played as much until I get to those underwater levels. But I have completed the game before. I just only got as far as the Magdor cave-ins, which is a lava section, and I just explored a bit. So but I certainly really enjoyed it. I think it's better if you play it on the bigger screen, which I'm used to. But then it's just like, oh, you can play it on a handheld. Totally. But I would probably get a Hori split pad if I ever wanted to. But speaking of which, I know that a couple of the videos have pointed out, like, doing the outside of the box, we were talking about there's a lack of options in the game. And then someone pointed out, it's like, oh, there's actually sensitivity options. So then, and that's before that, I found out that when I press the pause menu, I discovered there's like different controller schemes and there's sensitivity options. Like, oh, it's actually in the pause menu and not in the main menu. And that's when we got wrong. But then again, we just only like played it as we experienced it. So we don't really claim to be experts and just offering our subjective opinions. So just make sure you point out whenever we get wrong. And as long as you're like polite about it, then we can like deal with it in a more sensible way. Because I think that the best thing is not to go at each other's necks or judge us, but rather to make us understand whenever we go wrong and those type of things, and then we will deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to get everything right when it comes to reviews. So obviously, as you said, we didn't know there were sensitivity options in Metroid. So we apologize, but this is a hobby for us. We both do other things in our spare time. I also, I got a full-time job. I run another YouTube channel, which is Fatal for Wrestling. This is like the thing I do for fun. So obviously I'm not as formed as people who do this as a full-time job, but we try and give out the best information we can, and we try and make it as formative and as entertaining as we can do. We try to entertain and inform, which is important. Metroid Prime, amazing game. If you haven't played it, highly recommend it. 20 years old and still the best looking game on the Switch.
This reminds me of the YouTube thing. Like when I posted the video quality, posted the video to my own games channel and talked about the mod for Sonic Mania that has a different music in the background, because Sonic Mania on PC, you can already like get mods for it. So there's some music mods for it. And one of them is like the Puro level, which is like, it's just like I got it. How do I put it? It's the main machine.
Puro, yeah.
Yeah, so we just got that music over, and then I was like playing through the game and just like managed to beat the boss. And then someone pointed out, it's just like, oh, this is bad, you're about to lose. And then because of the comment that's left on it, people will be like more compelled to strike heckle at me for sucking at the game, and then say, and then they just give the video more dislikes because of how I played the game. But I'm just only demonstrating this mod. No, I just don't want to be mean to anybody, but I think it's just, you can easily tell that people are more likely to be negative than the positive. So it's really hard for us. Like, we shouldn't be overreacting to them, but it's just something we have to put up with. Did you agree?
I've had negative when I've done Let's Plays in the past, I've had negative responses about saying, "Oh, you're rubbish at this game." So, well, I'm talking and having fun and playing this at the same time. So, it's hard to do Let's Plays, but I enjoy doing Let's Plays. I haven't done them in a long time though, but it was something I used to do a lot of. So, personally, I try not to let the comments get to me. To be honest, I try just to ignore them usually.
Yeah, personally. I agree. But you can actually do them on Twitch. It's just that you haven't got around to doing that because you tried it and it didn't work out for you. What do you think?
I'm not a fan of doing Twitch, to be honest. I prefer to do Let's Plays. I like doing Let's Plays the old-fashioned way where you like record 10 minutes and then that's it. But that's no longer a thing. The people don't like that anymore. People like to watch everything live, which I'm not super into live streams. I don't know. I prefer the cut-down edited, more fun. I like Game Grumps kind of style, but people are not a fan of that anymore. That people live everything live. So probably not going to do anything like that.
That reminds me. You said about Game Grumps. Like, if we do Let's Plays in it, like, it's easier if it's like 10 years ago, because 10 years ago I was doing Let's Plays on my own, never took off the ground. But if it's just like you and me, and if we had a technology and an audience, then we can really pull this off. But now it's just like everyone's looking into discussion feeds instead of like gameplay feeds. And this has been debated by even publishers, and it sucks. So now, if you want to do this sort of thing, you have to go to Twitch. But just for that reason that, like, I got a Twitch channel and I enjoy streaming to it. But it's just that I was in an environment where my parents are around and they could have easily interrupted me. So
exactly.
So therefore, it's just like because I'm in the flat, I just got everything I need to do streaming on Twitch. It's just I need to make sure that I got fast enough internet to do so, because I used to stream Minecraft from my flat, but it's all blurred up because the upload speed is 1 megabit and it's too slow.
Yeah. I have the same issue with my internet problem, so and I don't really want to spend a load of money on getting all these new equipment to do it. So maybe one day. I'm not super into live streaming personally. I prefer just to do I'd rather do Let's Plays, but if
I was to do Twitch and I do gameplay streams, then would you be interested if I were to invite you to my stream so you can like play the game probably through my channel?
Sure, we could do that. Yeah, if you want. I was thinking when Redfall comes out, so we could do something like that. I was thinking like we could all like Minecraft Legends do like a face off on the channel, something like that. I thought we could try to do some Let's Plays or some live streams. That'd be fun to do, but obviously we need to work on that.
Yeah, because
yeah,
I think we used to do like Let's Plays. You used to do Let's Plays with other people in like 10 years ago or something.
For sure.
But then if we were to make a return to that with Xbox Box, like it could be just only one-off specials. We're not going to do series like that. But when we do that, it's just like, yeah, it's just something that is like brings it up and just gave a little bit of nostalgia, you know?
Yeah, I like doing Let's Plays. Maybe we'll do one. I don't know. It's a bit random, got off topic a little bit, so let's try to. Well, yeah, Halo Infinite. I've also been playing that as well, and I think you have as well. There's a 10-tier battle pass, and the community playlist has been added. That was kind of almost shadow dropped. Like they kind of just brought in the community playlist out of the blue. It's been fun. I've done all 10 tiers of the battle pass, so now I'm just going back to Metroid. But I enjoyed it for like the few hours I played it the other day. So, yeah. Well, like, are you still playing Halo Infinite, or you stopped again?
I did return, but I'm not playing it. The only weekly challenge reward is like you get an orange shotgun, and it's like, should I play more matches of it? But probably nah. So I just not decided not to. But there's a price reduction for the cherry blossom effect, and I was like, I don't know, should I get it or not? Because I haven't got enough credits for it. And then I noticed like, oh, it's actually one of my favorites. And I was like, forget it. I'll just like get the credits for £7.19 because of a Game Pass reduction, and just like got it. So now it's in my possession. So it's like good. But I think I'm just getting really spoiled because I spent so much on the game when I shouldn't. But as long as like Halo Infinite, it's like looks as if it's receiving more content. So it's not like it's not going to be that much of an issue.
No, I still enjoyed Halo Infinite for when I play it, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to season 3 when that eventually comes out. I'll probably play quite a lot of it when season 3 comes out. But
it's coming out next month, so I hope they deliver it. Otherwise, if they delay it,
me too.
I would be really upset. But
me too.
But then again, I'm used to upsets when they keep delaying things there. So
it's disappointing because I still get into arguments with people online about Xbox. Them saying like, "Oh, Xbox don't release good games. All their games are terrible quality." And I go, "Yeah, they do. They release loads of great games." And people go, well, "What about Halo Infinite?" So Halo Infinite is a great game. They just didn't support it very well, which is really annoying. Because if they supported it well, people wouldn't be. It's annoying. It's like I still feel like I've got to defend Xbox some of their stupid decisions. So hopefully they fix it season 3, and hopefully we get some good games this year, and then we don't have to keep we don't have to keep talking to people about Xbox has no games, which is really annoying.
Anyway,
talking about that.
Speaking of which,
sorry.
There's a promotion going on, and we did not mention it earlier, so I'm sorry about that. I don't know how long it's supposed to last, but I hope it doesn't last for a month. But Oreo's been doing a promotion, which we are not paid for by them. There's a promotion where you can win prizes, and that is like you go to the website, enter your barcode, you win prizes. But part of this whole experience is that what you experience first is that in those Oreo packets, you get cookies which are shaped like, I think it was like bees or something like that. I'll just demonstrate it to you. The
Xbox logo. I thought that was a different promotion.
Yes, it's Xbox buttons and stuff like that. But anyway, I haven't set it up, so you may have missed some of what he was saying. So sorry about that. I only just tried out this new focus into people's faces. I was not going to bring it up and just leave it as a surprise for anybody, but then never mind. But at least I have the means this episode to sign it Lewis whenever he goes on a ramble again.
Me go on a ramble? I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so there's I have the X here, and then there's like the mark. So X marks the box. So you can see it there, but you're probably using your phone to like try to get this different combination. Did you think? But anyway, as you can see here, it's like B. So that's what I got.
I think it might be only. I think this might only be in Europe and the UK. I'm not 100% sure because I think this wasn't in America. So I think I remember hearing Major Nelson talk about it and said he couldn't get the cookies because they weren't available in America, as far as unless they've done it recently. Yeah,
I think they may plan it for America because with those cookies there, if you put them to the web camera, if you put it in the right combination, because it works like Mastermind, the board game, where you get the different colored pegs to make sure it matches the code. And the website is slow, but it allows you to put the cookies in the right order. And once you get in the right orders, because it tells you which positions you get the cookies at. Once you get it right, you'll be granted one of the in-game content. So you get like the Halo new coating skin, which is a blue, and the Oreo filling. So it's like, it's cool. Once I combine it with the orange visor, which I should have on the screen when I'm editing, it kind of looks like a Tide Pod.
Tide Pods.
Yeah. Forza 5 is has this blue and Oreo filling type of thing. And there's also the in-game content for the Sea of Thieves, which I haven't actually explored. But you definitely get one of these, which works in the same way as you get the OPI nail polishers. And I still think it's a nice promotion. It's just a bit of a thing where you order those, send it over to me, and it took me a while to sort it out because I ordered it online and I have the problem of it trying to get the receipt to work with it. But Oreos, basically, I tried to do it with my phone and it didn't recognize the cookies because you had to make sure it just goes into the whole frame. And so I tried it on the computer using my webcam, which is better, but then you really make sure the rim of those cookies, which if I were to show it here, like you just have to make sure that you just hit on the switch around the frame, and when you scan it, it registers it. So it's a bit cheesy. However, there's a thing where I don't want to mention where you can get it from, but people have been uploading images of those cookies, so you can use them to scan them with your phone, and you can get easy content. So you don't have to buy the cookies for that, but if you want to win prizes, you buy the Oreo cookies for the barcodes.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the thing with AR games and stuff. Like if you like, there's like games you can play AR games. It's like you just get a picture up on your phone, you can get the picture come up. Like you can always do that. That's a thing that people do. I think that's funny. But yeah, as I said, I think it's not available in America. If it is, let us know in the comments below. But I'm pretty sure it's not available in America. So maybe do the photo thing is a good idea. Do that. So yeah, fun. I like this extra content. Xbox needs to do more of this kind of stuff. I always find this fascinating when they do these weird crossovers. Yeah, Team Xbox. Ooh.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the news?
Yes. The
News.
Oh, well, baby. News. Hang a minute. Sorry, viewers, but the news.
Ooh.
Ding!
The news. Oreo news.
Yes.
So,
it's not Oreo news. It's Xbox news. Yeah, you see? Xbox news. Sorry, I think we're just doing some bad product placement and Oreo wants us to sign a monetization with them. But, whatever. It's just let's move on. But first things first.
So where do you want to start with the news? We've got a lot of news stories to cover today, so let me just check.
Let's start with the downer.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, 9 news stories. 9.
Yeah. But before we get
Baker's dozen, which is kind of
it's actually
thing,
8. Yeah. Yes, 8. But I'd like to mention that. Well, at the moment we're gonna be hosting a 2-minute silence where I spoke with Lewis and talk about it, but it will happen in the end of the video. So what happened is Brianna Ghey, or Ghey, I cannot pronounce her surname. She was tragically murdered and stabbed, and I don't know the exact news, but she was involved in death, and it's a huge tragedy. So at the moment, everyone is like hosting vigils to light candles in honor of her life. So we're now just trying to offer our tribute to her. So it'll be like about 2 minutes silence. So just to show our solidarity in support of her.
Exactly. Yeah, because we didn't want to derail the podcast completely. So we it's tragic news, and we feel, send out our condolences to the family. But we will be having a 2-minute silence at the end of the episode when the episode finishes, or towards the end of the episode. So stay tuned for that. And sad news. Is it Brianna Ghey? I think that I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to pronounce the surname either. But yeah, it's just sad, and it's like, I don't understand like what the world could be cruel and a horrible place sometimes. It just sucks.
It's not very nice. Not a nice story.
Yeah,
the world is already cruel, so it's sad that these things keep happening. But then all we could do is just like respect her and not be such dicks about it. So just like try to give her the best respects, really.
For sure.
But I know it might be butted in with this whole politics thing, but sometimes it's important to like make sure we do care, especially when tragic things happening that even affects groups of people who also own Xboxes as well. So just thinking it out for everyone.
Should we try and do something a bit? So, was it a bit lighter news? Shall we move on to
the Halo Infinite has been leaked, and it turns into one of the massive data drops of all. So apparently, I found out that Microsoft is not happy when the leakers have released the data breach, and it revealed so much about Halo Infinite. I'm not going to go into details, but I can say that it mentions about Season 4, and there's some other details with it too. But I'm not going to go into it too much, because otherwise Microsoft will probably like go after us. But the point is, so Microsoft is pursuing the leakers because of this massive data leak, but it reveals of what's in store for the future, and we could be receiving a lot more maps. So therefore, Halo Infinite could run for an extra year. So this is at least it's good. Just a reminder that Season 3 is definitely not the final season. So it's something to look forward to in the future.
For sure. That's good news. I'm hoping. Last week's episode we talked all about how live service games are shutting down left, right, and center. So like Avengers, Crossfire X, Apex Online and stuff, or mobile. So it's good news to hear Xbox is still going to be supporting Halo for at least another season, which is good. I'm excited for that. So fingers crossed. So Nintendo Direct was our next topic. The Nintendo Direct was fantastic. I know we're not a Nintendo channel, so we're going to try and make it a bit brief, but obviously Tears of the Kingdom. I have my Tears of the Kingdom theory up on the channel, which is about 30 seconds as well. I won't spoil it.
Got over 1,000 views, so at least we're attracting a second audience in, which is good. But I know this is an Xbox podcast, so it's a bit weird, but at least it brings everyone to the yard and making milkshakes.
I was about to say, like, my milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. I was going to say Tears of the Kingdom. I know it's a Nintendo game, but we will probably cover it when it comes out. We'll probably do an outside the box episode when it comes out, a review, I would imagine, because Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time. And it's like, I was thinking about it the other day. It's like Tears of the Kingdom looks like a more dark version of Breath of the Wild, and Elden Ring was a more dark version of Breath of the Wild. So is it going to be very similar to Elden Ring? And they're kind of like they're both doing the same thing. It's Breath of the Wild, but dark and edgy. I'm very excited for it. I got my, as I said, I got my conspiracy theory tinfoil hat, my crazy theory that's on the YouTube channel, which I won't tell anyone. I mean, have you seen it? I don't know if you watched it at the end.
I've seen it. It's only like 30 seconds, and I thought, it's good.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, like, Tears of the Kingdom.
Do you think I'm right?
Yeah, so when I look around and I realised, Nintendo definitely says Tears of the Kingdom is a right pronunciation. So I was wrong.
Yeah.
And when I watched your theory, it just seems to make sense. But recently, as pointed out by you, that there are some eye symbols around, and it could suggest there's a part of the story, and it could be related to Sheik from the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So therefore, we could learn more about the mystery behind the eye symbols, but who knows?
Oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait for that game. Oh.
But if it's like, I know it's like saying, because I know people don't really want to learn too much about Tears of the Kingdom, but then most of the people listening could be Xbox players, so they probably don't mind, just as long as they don't want to be spoiled about Xbox. But then they could be interested in Tears of the Kingdom too. So
I'm excited for Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, it's your number one draft pick in the fantasy draft, which is like, I wanted that game so much. I'm so annoyed. I had to pick Starfield, though. I had to back the home team. But yeah, Starfield, Tears of the Kingdom, if they both come out this year, I'm having an amazing year. Like, both those games are insanely good, and I can't wait for either of them. Yay. Also, the Nintendo Direct, I mean, our topic of the show, we are going to go into detail about Shadow Drops, but I'm going to briefly mention it here. Metroid Prime came out, remastered, Shadow dropped out of nowhere. They Shadow dropped Octopath Traveler demo and a couple of other demos for games, and they Shadow dropped all their Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games on the Nintendo Switch Online. It's like, blimey heck, that's a lot to play.
Just make sure we mention it later on, because we got a whole topic about it, okay?
Yeah, I said just briefly, that. What else was there? There was Pikmin 4. Looks cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. I'm not super into Pikmin. Are you into Pikmin? Because I'm not super into Pikmin. I've never really played them. Looks fun, though. It reminds me of Minecraft Legends, actually, because Minecraft Legends is like a third-person RTS type game, and that's kind of what Pikmin is as well. Pikmin is, sort of. You have to control your Pikmin and throw them at people. The Xenoblade DLC had apparently massive spoilers in it, which is hilarious. Why would you put spoilers in your direct? Don't understand. Fire Emblem's got DLC, which I'm super into. Fire Emblem, I need to go back and play that. I stopped playing that as soon as Hi-Fi Rush came out. I need to go back and play it. I think that's it really for the direct. Was there anything else interesting you wanted to? I can't think of anything else. There's Splatoon DLC, which is probably the worst DLC in the history of video games. They've released DLC. There's just the hub area. You can download the original hub area from Splatoon 1, but it works exactly the same as the hub area from Splatoon 2 or 3 even, and it has the same shops and the same everything. So it's like you're paying money for a reskin of the hub world. How's that DLC? I don't understand.
Well, you don't have to be careful, because you're going to end up having another rap video about it.
Oh yeah, I know. For people who don't know, it's like an inside joke. It's like I do reactions on my YouTube channel, which is not Potato Pro Wrestling, but it used to be a mix of gaming and wrestling. I reacted to Splatoon 2, and I got a lot of dislikes because I was critical of it. And then I did a diss track on the people who were slagging me off from. And then I actually liked Splatoon 2 in the end, so it was like went full circle. But yeah, weird DLC. And there was another thing. Oh, Mario Kart. Mario Kart DLC looks fantastic. I got a theory that we might get movie tie-in DLC, and the Rainbow Road from the movie might be you might get that for like Wave 8 or something.
Yeah, that's a good theory, actually. Yeah, that's a good prediction.
Game theory.
Yeah.
That's just a theory. A game theory.
Okay, Matt Pat. So
sorry. Do you know he sold his channel, apparently, Matt Pat? So hopefully he's gonna. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. We'll see.
we'll see.
Okay, now this is news I haven't heard, and I'm gutted to hear. I really hope this is not true. Bobby Kotick will remain at Activision if the deal is accepted. Ooh, but yeah, can we get rid of Bobby Kotick? Bloody hell! Like, I hadn't heard the story. This is news to me, so enlighten me, Alice.
Yeah. Sorry. Enlighten you.
Yeah, let me know, because I haven't read this article, so you'll have to let me know.
I got a large picture of a Bobby Kotick on this whole thing. Anyway, so apparently, when the deal comes into this whole deal, once Microsoft goes through it, Bobby Kotick is to be remain in, so therefore, it's just like, it's not going to help really, because Activision Blizzard has already had a string of controversies and talks about like how the workers have been like not feeling great and have to go through this thing. So therefore, it's just like, sorry, I'm just like dribbling a bit, but the thing is, it's still going on. Microsoft is trying to get through the deal, and there's a lot of opposition from the EU, UK, and even Sony. And I think it's just a huge Mickey Mouse thing when Microsoft should have just like bought Activision already, which, however, the plot seems to have to change a little bit from last week. But at the moment, 58% of the readers should ask for the Activision Blizzard deal to go through. So, but anyway, it's...
I want it to be done so we get free games on Game Pass. That's literally all I want. Like, can we get this done? Yeah, I mean, Bobby Kotick. Why are you keeping Bobby Kotick? I thought we were going to get rid of that guy. He's scum, from what I can tell. Allegedly, he's scum. We'll just say allegedly. So next up is the Evil Within 3 teased in Hi-Fi Rush. I think I saw this. Basically, they teased in the game that it says new horror game sequel released or something like that inside Hi-Fi Rush, right? Is that the tease? Yeah, I saw this the other day on the news. I haven't read this article, but interesting that they're teasing possibly Evil Within 3, or it could be a sequel. It could be Ghostwire Tokyo 2. They said sequel to horror game. They didn't say sequel to Evil Within, and they could even be talking about Evil Within 2 because that's a sequel to Evil Within 1. So
well. Yeah, but anyway, what happened is one of the cutscenes from one of the last levels, it seems to have as you can see in the screenshot, there's a hint that talks about the sequel to the survival horror game, and it could suggest that, as you said, Ghostwire Tokyo sequel, or it coming to Xbox, or it could well be Evil Within 3. So that's something we might be able to find out. But it's definitely tease. But anyway, basically, it's filled with a lot of references, and the editor is thinking about like it has Space Channel 5, and I thought, okay. But then one of my favorites is that this jazz scene where everyone's clicks in the couch. I don't know how you find out, but you definitely find out when you play Hi-Fi Rush. There's people clicking, and there's like 808 like dancing to the tune. And someone brought up about Twin Peaks. So I managed to find out on Paramount Plus, and I checked it out. So I've been watching it, and I thought, it's cool. And then there's this dream sequence where it's about someone who just like dances to the beat and gives you clues in the dream. So that's a really, really one of the best references in the game. So I just
Jack Burns suit.
Yeah,
Jack Burns suit. That is from The Simpsons. when they do Jack Burns suit. What? Jack Burns suit. Oh, okay. Is when they do it in The Simpsons. I'll Jack Burns suit. When The Simpsons do Twin Peaks. I love Twin Peaks. It's such a random show. It's just like it was like the lost of its time. It was just nothing made any sense, and they were just using it to like. Yeah, everyone had all these theories, and they all turned out to be like completely like not true. Okay, next article is Xbox Game Pass. I saw about this. I thought we could do a rant video about this. because I wanted to rant. I've just ranted to someone online about this. Like, ooh, you damn kids! They're like, they say after 12 months, game sales decrease. It's like, well, no shit. Like literally, like of course it does. And of course it does after 12 months. Like people like saying the Xbox said that it might affect game sales. That well, obviously they didn't say like how much or anything. It's not going to affect it. Like, there's also other articles where Phil Spencer said stuff like game sales increase because the people like. Sorry, I ranted. I think it was like an article for 2018. I'm paraphrasing, but Phil Spencer was asked if Forza Horizon 4 is on Game Pass, why would people buy it? He goes, well, people still buy it, and people switch between the subscription and buying it, and also the people who have the subscription encourage their friends to buy it as well. So it does help increase sales and increase exposure. Yeah, I think a lot of people have got this article and they've misread it and they've twisted it, and it's yeah. So it's annoying because I've had to explain to people.
It mentions the CMA, and I'm wondering, why is this name familiar? Do you know?
CMA?
Yeah.
Isn't that the British, the people who are trying to block it?
I think it's actually them, like, trying to bring this fact up and just, like, trying to find excuses for them to not buy the deal. So I think we could do the rant video about it. But yeah, the fact is, CMA claims that Game Pass, you get fewer sales, but I think the thing is that whenever it comes to the games being placed on Game Pass, anyone can, like, get it for a subscription service than paying the full price for it. So it's just why it would be considered weird if you somehow say, I love those games, I want it on the Game Pass. But if you say things like, you should get it on the Xbox or PlayStation, then that's fine, because it seems as if you're not expecting it to be on the subscription service. It'll be up to the developers to decide to put it on the Game Pass or not. But I feel the Game Pass is what gets more people interested to try the game. Didn't you agree?
Yeah. Oh, totally. It's exposure. It helps with exposure. I had this argument with someone online on Twitter yesterday. He was like going, you should want to buy games for $70 because that means it's going to be better quality. I'm like, have you seen Forspoken? That was $70. And that was a top pile of trash. And it was like, and then like they go, oh, because of Game Pass, game quality's gone down. It's like, Pentiment was a 10 out of 10. Hi-Fi Rush was like in the high 80s. Grounded was in the high 80s. Flight Simulator was 10 out of 10. Psychonauts was high 80s, high 90s Game of the Year material. Halo was good, but it lacked. But it's just like lots of games have come. Like Xbox has funded games on Game Pass, and they have released good games. Yeah, the PlayStation people keep saying, "Oh, Game Pass is going to make quality of games rubbish," and they're still saying that, even though we've got active proof that that's not the case. Like you could just look at there's been like a massive load of games that have come out that have been critically acclaimed, and they wouldn't have come out if it wasn't for Game Pass. Like I said, Hi-Fi Rush is probably my game of the year at the moment, and that came out only because of Game Pass, really. Like that, like if it wasn't for Game Pass, it probably wouldn't have been shadow dropped, or they might not even made the game. So it bugs me. It annoys me that people keep saying that it lowers the quality of games because it doesn't. Clearly, it doesn't. If you look at the games that have come out on Game Pass, a Forza Horizon 5, how did I forget that? That won IGN's Game of the Year last year, and you're saying that the quality's gone down, or the year before, not last year, 2021, and you're saying the quality of games are going down? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
The £70 is due to inflation, and you definitely get games that are worth £70 or dollars on Game Pass, and that argument suggests as if it only has cheaper games on Game Pass when obviously it's taking the likes of Forza and even like has games that's exclusive to PlayStation 5 like Deathloop, and you can get it on Game Pass. So I just feel this is nothing more than like saying, like trying to defend that $70 games are fine, are better, and that's like saying PlayStation 5 games are great because they're better quality, and that's where you mostly buy $70 games on it as a main thing, when it's already having the PlayStation Plus subscription service going on over there as well. So I just feel it's just like trying to make up excuses as to why PlayStation 5 is better than the Xbox Series X or S. I think there's
people are trying to justify the fact that they're paying 70 quid for games. As I said, I'm paying for higher quality games. I'm like, you're not, though. You're paying for Sad Dad walking simulator games for $70 a piece. Like, I'm sorry. One of my favorite games of last year was Vampire Survivors, and that was £3. And that game's amazing, and it's better than pretty much anything that's on PS5. I don't Grounded's amazing. Hi-Fi Rush is 30 quid, and it's on Game Pass, and it's amazing. I don't understand the logic. And also people they say to cannibalize the sales, but people still buy these games. Hi-Fi Rush was the highest selling game on Steam the week it came out. So people are still paying for these games. So it's like people that buy it and people have the subscription, people buy games, people swap between the two, people double dip. Some people buy it and have the subscription. It still makes money.
Sorry to interrupt, but I know you believe that this is a really bad thing and you feel this is a bit ridiculous. But to me, I tend to be the one who actually try to gain the understanding there. But to be honest, $70 is way too much for my budget. And I'm totally used to fully crit games. So now, if you allow me to explain that, when we were talking about Metroid Prime, someone brought up, say, that Metroid Prime, just wait for it to go on the sale. But someone brought up the argument, and somehow I agree, is that on the eShop, it's for like £35, and it's £40 when you get it on physical. Ironically, especially it's a remaster one, 20 years ago, you can get it on a Nintendo GameCube for 40 quid. So literally, 20 years ago, you can buy any game, and that is something I'm used to, and that is £40. Now those days, you pay games for £30 extra, and at the same time, like about 25 years ago, you'll be paying for the deluxe edition. So I think there's a lot of irony. And the reason people say £70 is fine for the game, because you're expecting so much from the game that you would expect $70 to justify its quality. But then the real problem is that this justifies that this price is due to the inflation, and yet people are using it just to say that it's got more quality due to the technology advances, and now the games require more work just to make sure it's hits the players' expectations, and yet they seem to normalize about $70 for a game when 20 years ago it's like 40 quid. Would you believe that?
Exactly. No, exactly. I when I was you go in my office in my house. It's full of Xbox 360 games. I would buy a load of Xbox 360 games day one, 40, 50 quid each. And now games are 70 quid. I'm like, I always go, I won't buy it now. I'll wait until it go down in price. And I don't buy as many games as I used to because of the price. PS5 are talking about how great all their games are. They're all 70 quid. I'm like, Spider-Man 2 is probably the next one I'm going to buy. I'm not buying anything else for 70 quid on that console. Tears of the Kingdom is probably Nintendo, even though I got that cheap because I got the voucher system. That's the next game I'm going to be buying on Nintendo. I feel like putting the price up, you're going to get people still buying the games for 70 quid, but they're going to buy less games. As I said, I used to buy about 12 games a year, 15 games a year. Now I just have Game Pass and I buy 1 or 2 games a year of 70 quid if I want them. And then basically they have to be, in my head, they have to be almost like Game of the Year contenders for me, 70 quid. I wouldn't pay £70 for something like Forspoken or something that is untested or no, I would rather, if I'm going to pay 70 quid, it's got to be a game that I think is going to be worth every penny. And it's very rare that I have those type of games anymore. I stick to Game Pass. Thank you very much. I think Game Pass is a fantastic offer. I don't get people who are like going, "Oh, Game Pass is bad." It's like you're the customer. You're saving money because of Game Pass. If it weren't for Game Pass, I would be struggling now. I'm struggling financially. Game Pass is keeping me in the loop, keeping me gaming, and keeping me happy, keeping me busy. It's a fantastic service. And anyone slagging Game Pass off is just a moron because they're like, "I'm sorry, it's such a good deal. It doesn't make sense why you'd be against it. It's good for the customer, and it's bad for developers." No, it's not. Xbox have funded these developers. It's good for the developers. It's good for the gamers. It's good for everyone. Like, I don't understand why you'd be so against it. Only downside of Game Pass is that you don't get to keep the games. But like, do you ever go back and play those games from like 20 years ago? Like, come on, be honest. It's like, oh, I own bloody. I'm trying to think of a really obscure game on Xbox 360. Doesn't matter.
Well, since you brought this up about games leaving,
I have Knack on PS4. Do you think I'm going to go back and play my Knack on PS4? So that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Knack. Come on now.
Well, yeah, we definitely had Knack about 10 years ago, and there's also like, but it's definitely 10 years ago since we got Xbox One and PS4. But on the subject of this, the other news is that the couple of games are leaving Game Pass again, and this time, unfortunately, is that, I can see Knack. But yeah, there's Madden 21, there's Crown Trick, and Dragon Ball Fighter Z, as well as Alien Isolation and Lightning Returns and Octopath Traveler. So that's a bunch of games that is leaving Game Pass on the 28th of February. So it's pretty sad about it.
Get on that, people. Yeah, Octopath Traveler is going to be a sad one because Octopath Traveler 2 is coming out soon. So, like,
yes,
if you want to get through that game before the new one comes out, you've only got a week. Good luck, or 2 weeks. Good luck. Ooh, it's a big game, Octopath Traveler.
But I think as someone mentioned too that the games like Atomic Heart and a few others are joining Game Pass soon. So at least there's something to make up for it. But I got Alien Isolation on PlayStation 4. I saw it on my PS4. So therefore, I'm not able to play the game right now. So I was thinking like, I could get it on Xbox, except I just have to wait for the sale because it's going to be off Game Pass. But, you know, one of the people who studied at University of Games Newport, she ended up working for like different companies like Media Monocle and has worked on Alien Isolation, which is actually possibly her best project. So Alien Isolation is worth a try out. It kind of sucks that it's going to be leaving from Game Pass soon. But it's also like the Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which is actually great. It's by Arc. And you definitely get a couple of more Arc games coming to Game Pass soon. And also I mentioned that Octopath Traveler, as well as like I don't know about Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns to you, but I think if you've been catching up on Final Fantasy 13 and you caught up, then it's pretty good for you to like catch up. So yeah, it's all good.
So there's a load of games leaving, but obviously there are games coming to Game Pass as well. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. Obviously, try and keep you up to date when there's announcements of new games coming out. So it's our final news story of the week: Minecraft. Get an update. Do you want to go into details?
Yes. Basically, in Minecraft, which is in 1.20, which is coming soon, there's a new thing called the Cherry Blossom Biomes, which is where basically, if you go to the biome and you discover some like pink leaves, these are cherry blossom leaves, and they attract like sheep, pigs, and even bees over. And if you were to like chop some wood there, you get like special planks to make some pink wood. And to be honest, I was daydreaming and I was thinking like, oh, how cool is it to have cherry blossom wood and all those different wood types. I thought, oh, that will expand the levels. And I thought, yeah, that's cool. I did wonder whether there's going to be pink planks or not, but then it's revealed that it's just a bog standard grassland biome that has got cherry blossom trees in, and you get pink wood. So at least you don't have to worry about getting mods for it, because you can just like get pink planks in an official release. So that's really cool.
I like cherry. I mean, cherry blossoms are like, that's the thing. Like in Japan, like that's a big thing in Japan, isn't it? The cherry blossoms, they only bloom for like a week in Japan. So literally, you have people traveling over to Japan just to see the cherry blossoms and getting married at that time and stuff like that. This is like a big thing over there. So that's cool. I've always liked cherry blossoms. I think they're rad.
That reminds me of like Animal Crossing New Horizons, because they're like cherry blossoms, and it only happens for like 1 or 2 weeks. And this is the only way you can get like special bells to like get special items. That's cool, and it just certainly like sets it off on spring. But it's something that only occurs in like April. So, but yeah, nice to know that Minecraft has announced it. But I just hope it's not an April Fool's thing, because otherwise I would not be very happy about it. Because this is definitely like really good. When I first saw it, I was like so amazed. And I just love to like get something in the game and have like pink planks. And it's quite similar to the birch wood type, only it's hues set to like pink. And I think it does look very, very nice. So if it ever comes out, then I might probably do a new world and be on a search for it, but then set it up so we can have like a pink house. So it's quite nice. But anyway, Minecraft 1.20 is coming. It's got camels, the bamboo trees, and it's revealed that there's going to be archaeology parts, which has been teased for Caves and Cliffs, but now it's making a return. So now we're just going to wait for like Minecraft 1.20 to arrive. But all we know is it's promised to be coming out this year. So hopefully it'll arrive just before autumn or even Christmas. So I think this is really exciting, and I think this update gets better and better with each snapshot release, because right now you can play it as a snapshot, which I don't know if you can get it on Xbox, but you can definitely get it on PC. So yeah, just
look into that for sure.
Yeah,
that's rad. So are we going to move on to our topic of the show?
Yes. And it's shadow drops.
Topic of the show. Shadow drops, and how awesome they are, and how much I love shadow drops. In the Xbox Developer Direct, we had Hi-Fi Rush drop on the night of the show. And then in the Nintendo Direct last week, we had Metroid Prime Remastered, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games coming to Nintendo Switch Online. So that's really cool.
I love that bit of news, because basically, it runs the same way if you've got a Nintendo Switch Online, and that gives you access to Game Boy games. But if you want to play Game Boy Advance games, you have to like get expansion pack. But you only get like 8 games, including the Super Mario games, the Kurian. That's a good one. But if you were expecting things like Metroid Fusion or F-Zero Maximum Philosophy, they will be coming to the service eventually. But Wario Land 4. It hasn't been planned to be released there. And I think it would be great, because at the moment, people are playing Pizza Tower on PC, and it's like, wow, it's good, but you can only get it on Windows through Steam. But when the people get to play this game, they were like, oh, I wonder what Wario Land 4 is like. So hopefully we'll back in Nintendo to bring out Wario Land 4 to the service, so that would be good. I hope so. But at the moment, I only got like Game Boy games, and it includes like Tetris. It's got Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Also includes the Game Boy Color edition. That's cool. And I think you also got Super Mario Land, and I was kind of trying to think of something. Does it have Wave Race or some sort? I don't know. It's probably me.
No, I can't remember. I can't remember what games are on it. I should have written it down. Sorry. Oracle of Seasons and that has come in as well at some point. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to playing Metroid Fusion on the NSO as well. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah, I mean, I love shadow drops. I mean, this is. I hope there's something they do more often. There's a lot of people thinking that we might get a shadow drop of Starfield. I doubt that very much, but man, wouldn't that be amazing? Just randomly one day they go, and Starfield is out right now.
Oh my gosh!
Imagine like.
Oh my gosh! You can definitely get WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games on the Game Boy Advance. So if you get an expansion pack, I recommend you play that because that's a huge riot. And
I love that game. It's such a good game.
Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is actually like a cult classic. I didn't get to play it, so if I were to get that, that's fine. But you get like Legend of Zelda, the Minish cap. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm just trying to find an article there, but the games you get. Part of the ones I mentioned, you get Gargoyles, Crest, Game & Watch Guarantee 3, Metroid 2, I recommend playing that game, or you can get the 3DS remaster before the eShop gets online on March. But there's also Warrior and 3 and Kirby's Dream Land.
Ooh, there's a lot of good choices on there. So Game Boy games, awesome. Game Boy Advance games, awesome. Metroid Prime, amazing. 10 out of 10.
Is this going to encourage you to get a Switch OLED for the maximum effect?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably not, because we can't be far off a Switch 2 or a Switch Pro at this point. So I can't imagine it's going to be much longer.
It could be shadow dropped, just like with the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, that's right, because it was announced on like February 2017, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's actually coming. So once it's been announced, like you play with those controllers, I thought, oh my gosh, it's actually coming out in March. And it's like, oh, cool. It's even got like Zelda, it's got a few other games with it. And I thought, wow, this is great. So I just easily went for it, and that's what I still got. But after 5 years of owning it, I think I may decide to get an OLED model, depending on the circumstances. But we'll have to see, because the Switch, at the moment, it's just like I can record videos from it, but I only have one dock at a time. But I should be getting like 2 docks. So therefore, there's an additional dock you can definitely buy from the Nintendo shop. So just gonna sort this out. But yeah, I'm just going off the rails a bit. But Switch OLED is something that you would recommend. So anyway,
I think it's pretty cool, the Switch OLED. If you don't own a Switch, it's worth getting. For me, I mainly play my Switch docked. I rarely play it handheld, so I don't see the point of getting the OLED's only really effective if you're a person who plays it portable a lot. I don't play it portable that often.
I've been mixing between handheld and the TV, so I think OLED might be a bigger benefit to me. But apart from that, it's just like I just think once the Xbox Game Pass comes over to Switch, I hope so. That's gonna be huge.
Shadow drop it now. Xbox Shadow drop. I mean, our whole topic is about shadow dropping. What do you think might be the next game when we get shadow dropped? Do you mean like something huge shadow drop? I said people are rumoring thinking that we might get Starfield as a shadow drop, which I think is a bit mad.
But that's been announced. So what's?
I mean, like they literally go, "Here's the Starfield Direct," and then it goes, "It's later," and then at the end of the Direct, and it's out now, and then literally thousands of people, millions of people trying to download 80 gig file from Xbox and completely crash their servers. I mean, that's
it's something that's similar to what happened with Halo Infinite multiplayer, but I think in the context of that shadow drop, it is definitely something we are not expecting. Like, well, things like Starfield and, of course, like Halo Infinite. Like, for example, if there's a PlayStation game and then turns out it's been shadow dropped, well, it's not a shadow drop. The context of shadow drop is something you are not expecting. And even though we do have a rumor of the Metroid Prime trilogy coming out on Nintendo Switch, we do have Metroid Prime 1 remastered being shadow dropped, and that still counts because it hasn't been announced before. So I think the question is that which game are you most likely to expect, which is something that has not been announced before, So Starfield, it does not count.
Okay, so not Starfield. So any game, so maybe like a Killer Instinct 2, that'd be interesting if it went out to Killer Instinct 2. That sounds like a good Shadow Drop game. Or like Xbox Kart, Halo Kart.
Xbox Smash Brothers, that would be sick.
Yeah.
In fact, you've got like Chai, Blinks, Master Chief, and even a lot of sort of Killer Instinct characters. Because like about 20 years ago in the Xbox saga, so it's just like you get things like I don't remember this like retro fighting game, but there's like Fusion Frenzy and all those other franchises. Like I don't know if you remember like Kung Fu Chaos, which is like I think it's made. It was done by Ninja Theory behind Hellblade back then under the different name. Where it's just basically a brawler that's like Power Stone, and then you just do things and you get extra stars. Ooh. So I think I might show that on screen. But yeah, it's definitely something that could happen.
What about Compulsion's game? So Compulsion, the people who made We Happy Few, they've been working on something for the last 3 or 4 years. We don't know what it is. Maybe that could get shadow drops, whatever that is. That would be interesting. Like Hi-Fi Rush all over again. Like we don't know what they're actually working on, and suddenly out of nowhere it's dropped. So, I think obviously I think there's an obvious shadow drop that is obviously going to be coming out in March, and that's Ghostwire Tokyo. We know that's coming. We know that's coming to Xbox at some point, and when it comes out, it'll probably be out day of. So that's probably going to be something they're going to announce. They're going to go, Ghostwire Tokyo is out today or out tomorrow. I know it's already out on PlayStation, but that'll probably be shadow dropped on the Xbox. It'll be announced the day of. Basically, as soon as PlayStation got a year of exclusivity, a year of publishing, right? So Xbox can't talk about it for a year. So as soon as the year is up, they're going to go, right, now it's available, or it'll be available next week. Like basically, like as soon as the contract is done, Xbox will talk about it and release it within like a week. So we know that's going to happen at the end of March. So that's kind of a shadow drop, even though we kind of know about it.
Yeah,
it's not a massive surprise, but it probably will be a shadow drop. I think goes by Tokyo.
I think there's some really interesting predictions there. And I would definitely take Xbox Kart or Smash Brothers as definite answers for it. But
Halo Kart.
But then, if you were to ask me, I think the really good shadow drops would be Xbox Game Pass for either mobile or actually for the Nintendo stuff. And I think with those things is that I think once the Activision Blizzard deal, I think it's more likely they would shadow drop that because they got King Games as well, which they're doing this. The whole point of this deal is to get more mobile games. So therefore, that once they get the deal through, they'll probably shadow drop Xbox Game Pass for like mobile.
That's a good point. Also, yeah, you make a good point. Once the Xbox Activision deal is done, if it does get done, we'll probably have and these games are available right now. They'll probably announce the day of the acquisition going through. They'll probably like all the Diablo games, all the Call of Duty games, all the everything that's available on Activision and Blizzard and all that will probably go straight to Game Pass day of.
But the reason I mentioned about mobile games is because, mobile games is the whole point of the deal, and it hasn't been talked enough compared to a lot of this ramblings about Call of Duty. So I think it just makes mobile game Xbox Game Pass to be a bigger deal. But then again, you already got like Apple Arcade to compete with, so that's one thing. But the other
Candy Crush coming to Game Pass.
Yeah. Another thing about the shadow drops is we could see Halo Battle Royale because that hasn't been announced yet.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good call because that's something that they've been people have been rumoring for a while. Halo Battle Royale. That's a good one. Good one. Yeah, I could see that shadow drop in.
But the question is, it's just like it's now rumored to be an Unreal Engine, so it's just a question that when they announce it, is this something that's going to be delayed, or is this something that will be released soon? We don't know.
Soon, probably. We'll see, but that'll be that'll be an interesting like E3. Like they do their press conference in June, and they go, and at the end of the show, Halo multiplayer, like whatever it's called, Halo Drop or like I don't know what they want to call it, Halo Battle Royale, will be available right now or for after this presentation. Yeah, I can see that happening. That's a good one.
But the only problem is that if it's going to release too soon, it's just likely to alienate people who's been getting cosmetics on Halo Infinite, because I don't know how they would transfer their content over to Battle Royale. Otherwise, it's just like having two games with different monetization systems, and I think that's when it gets more awkward. But hopefully we don't have to deal with it, especially that new Halo games is going to be made in Unreal Engine, but I also hope that the Unreal Engine will be used for like the next version of Halo Infinite, and I think this is really good. The only problem is to deal with all the systems in place, because it's already being used for the Subs expansion. And I saw the innards of it. It's just more like into a more bespoke structure, whereas Unreal Engine just works within the Unreal Engine's infrastructure. So I think this is probably one of the most difficult processes to do. Is just trying to deal with the compatibility with the stuff that's in the Halo Infinite and transfer it over to Unreal Engine.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is a pain, though. I don't know how it's going to be. They've only just got Forge working, so now they're going to move it over to another engine. That's going to be really tricky. I don't know, really. I don't really know what to say about that. I mean, I'm hoping that the Battle Royale is going to be good. We don't know anything about it, really. We're just going to wait and see, I suppose.
Absolutely.
It's all conjecture at the moment. But yeah, I think those games are likely to be shadow dropped. As I said, Ghostwire Tokyo, Activision games when the Game Pass deal's done, Halo Battle Royale, maybe the Compulsions game they're working on. Maybe if someone's making a small game that we haven't heard of, maybe that'll get shadow dropped. I don't know. Like if there's another Pentiment or Grounded out there that we haven't heard of, maybe that'll be dropped. Who knows? It'll be interesting though. I'm really intrigued to see.
Yeah. I think that's
I'm really excited for the future of Xbox for sure.
Yeah, I think we already sorted that out. So yeah, it's just something we can hope to. Well, I don't know because it's only like the shadow drops. We're thinking about it because we're talking about Hi-Fi Rush and Metroid Prime, but it's just only question whether we see more shadow drops. So would you reckon we may have more shadow drops along the year?
I hope so. I really hope so, because I really enjoy the shadow drops we've had. As I said, Metroid Prime and Hi-Fi Rush are two of my favourite games of this year, and they're probably my Game of the Year contenders. And they're both shadow drops. I thought they were both fantastic. And I think you get like a nice burst of like excitement straight away. Like, it's like you get a load of excitement about a game for like a week. It's instead of there's some games that you get hype for months and months and months and months, and then you get the game and it's like the hype's gone. I feel like sometimes it's good to get a shadow drop. I think. I like shadow drops. I'm looking forward to more if they do more. Fingers crossed.
Just what if Sony decides to shadow drop their games? What would you feel about it?
Yeah, just copy it, follow the trend, Sony. Spider-Man 2 is available right now. I'm like, oh my god!
And then you sold your PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah, I haven't sold my PS5, but that's literally the only game I have a PS5 for now is for Spider-Man 2.
I think another use for the PlayStation 5 is to sell it so you can buy yourself a new laptop, because yours is broken like a donkey.
Yeah, maybe. Get myself a Steam Deck.
Oh, Steam Deck? Oh, come on. Yeah. Laptop first, please.
It's the same thing, isn't it? Play games on it.
Well, how are you supposed to do your reacts and everything with the Steam Deck, huh?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. Could you imagine? Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
This is PotatoChief using Steam Deck. And we're going to watch wrestling reactions through Steam Deck's tiny screen. Anyway, the question is, are you hoping to go for a high tier Steam Deck, which is like 512 gigabytes?
I was going to go for the middle tier. That's the one I had it ordered and I cancelled it because I couldn't afford it.
I was kind of thinking like a top tier because I think that anti-glare screen is going to be useful. But I don't know, maybe I would get it in March or probably get it for my birthday because the more I think about it, the more likely I would get it. And I think there's already some good games you can get on Steam, like Pizza Tower. But this one is like Linux, so therefore it's not going to work with all the games that is released for Windows.
I mean, we're going off topic a little bit, but what I want to try and get like they're all really expensive at the moment. So there's the Nvidia just released one as well, and so did I can't remember what they're called now. But I like the streaming handhelds. I think they're a cool idea. But they're all like 400 quid, so I'm not paying for 400 quid for a streaming handheld. But if they made one for like 100 quid, or if they got streaming working on the Switch, I'd be so happy. I'd like to be able to stream my Xbox games. I think that'd be rad on like a little portable device. But I wouldn't pay 400 quid for it. They just showed one off. I think it was Razer. And it's like, the Razer Kishi built in, and there's like basically like a tablet attached to it, and that was 400 quid as well. I'm like, 400 quid's cool, but it's way too expensive for a hand. As we see, basically, I just give me something with a basic screen and then like Xbox controls on the side, and I'll be happy. That's all I want. Like streaming console, I'll be sick.
Well,
streaming handheld.
I think the closest we ever going to get to it, because in the top of the Xbox, we got with the, I think it's a Logitech thing, which is
that's it. Logitech. That's the one. The Logitech one there. 400 quid for that. It looks cool, but I wouldn't pay 400 quid for it. If it was cheaper, I'd probably buy it, but I'm not paying 400. That's insane.
And also, let's use stream only. So if you were looking for the gaming, you can play games offline, then you may find Switch OLED to be a bigger deal. But this one, you need to find Wi-Fi everywhere. Actually, the good question is that, does it have like a mobile thing? I don't know.
You can play Android games on it, but like, whatever. Why would I do that? Maybe I'll probably play Vampire Survivors on it. That'd be it. That'd be the only Android game I play.
I can't tell if it's got a mobile thing, but if you know it's got like mobile connectivity, let us know.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Oh, no, that's even worse.
Looked it up. The one that the Razer just announced has built-in one, but it's like, as I said, it's like 400 quid. So it's like, oof, no thanks. No, thank you.
No.
It's a bit much. Wait until the idea is there, and the people are making those type of consoles. So I'm hoping that there'll be one like 100 quid within the next 4 or 5 years, and I'll totally buy one then. When they're cheap, I'll buy one. For sure.
Anyway, so
Xbox handheld, make it happen, Xbox.
I agree.
Series P, Series Portable.
That could be a shadow drop.
That could be a shadow drop. Everything should shadow drop. Shadow drop everything from now on. Like, Starfield is out today. Let's just do it.
Well, I think it just saves them marketing money, so that's a benefit for developers. Anyway,
for sure.
I think we should wrap this up because we're pretty much like talked so much about the news, and there isn't so much about shadow drops rather than some pure speculation. What do you think?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think we should wrap the episode up. So thank you guys for watching. We're going to do our 2-minute silence now at the end, yes?
Yes.
So we'll do that. So thank you guys for watching. If you please stick around for the 2-minute silence, we appreciate it. If not, thank you guys for watching anyway. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for staying tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, too sweet. And now it's time for our 2-minute silence. I believe. If you want to introduce it or
just begin. Anyway, thank you for everyone for staying with us. And if you took part of the silence, then thank you ever so much for your respects. So, all I can say is look after yourselves and look after yourself well. And hopefully, if you enjoy listening to this episode, which is very long because we got lots of news pieces in. Thank you for watching and thank you for your continued support. So, and we'll see you soon. So, take care.
Thank you very much. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I didn't hear any screams, but okay.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, that's probably on Discord, isn't it?
Yeah. No! So if you were screaming in pain, if you needed help, I wouldn't be able to hear you. That's scary. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at xmarksbox on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.